Hey folks, Toaster here. Took Combat's T54 Mod 1 out for a spin the other day, and I just wanted to show you the game I had in it. This thing has quite good armor to it. It's got the upper plate, I want to say is 120 sloped. It might be 100, but I think it's 120 sloped. It's very, very good, and the turret is pretty bouncy, and you're going to see that in this game. And so let's go ahead and get started because we're going to head over to the northwest corner because that seems to be a good play for this tank. We're not quite as fast as some of the other mediums, and I don't want to get stuck and caught out trying to take over the hill. So as it turns out, it's a good choice. So we are we at 2 times? Yeah. So anyway, we don't have a lot of support, and we've got a lot of people in cab, and that is a very, very bad sign for us. And so just popping over to see if I see anything that was fast that I could bully. In many cases, you can just go up and bully stuff. This thing has wicked armor. I used to play my FCM a lot, and FCM 50T, and it's got two 12 pin, and you have to aim carefully at the lower plate. That was before it was buffed. So now it's very strong. It got buffed again, and it's an excellent tank. It really is. The problem with it is that you face tier 10s all the time, and your armor means nothing in a tier 10 game. It is quite sneaky because it's a Russian tank and it's very low slung. There is one tank out there, and so shooting at his upper plate is silly, but I decide to go because I see that the other side is losing already, and we have so much sitting, well, they're not as bad sitting in base, but we also have a Patriot with us, so yeah, we can bounce shots from this heavy all day long. And I make a slight mistake. I should have just pulled in, but what I do is I get sight onto the guy, but I should have pulled in much, much earlier. The pen on this is good enough. I probably shouldn't even be using gold rounds, and I make yet another mistake here in not staying behind the guy. So I'm afraid that this T-34-3 is going to hit me, so I'm kind of ignoring the other tank, and he's ignoring me. I'm going for a track shot, which is silly because in reality he was a one-shot, but I noticed this T-34-3 has fired, and I know his reload's like 11 seconds or longer, and I also know he has no gun depression, and he just fired again, so I can get at least 2 free shots off on him. And so that's what we're going to attempt to do. And so now he's fighting gun depression issues, and we're able to side scrape him. Artie's going to take an interest in me, of course, because we are getting close to their base. And I just kind of feel bad for this Jagdpanzer. I mean, what's he going to do? He's a tier 6 against a tier 8. And unless he hits lower plate, he is just screwed. So we get around the back. The Artie has done a pretty good job of telling me where they're going to fire. I ignore that because, quite frankly, I got to do what I got to do in order to keep myself safe. And most Artie players, of course, you know, I don't like Artie players, but most Artie players have no idea what it takes for me to do what I got to do to win the match. And so I'm taking all the risks out here, and they're just firing willy-nilly, even though they know that I'm in danger. So I don't know. It's just a personal thing that I don't care for Arties. So we get a lucky snapshot on the move while we are, pardon me, while we are still stunned a little bit. But at this point, I don't want to come up the obvious way So I'm going around. We're up to 1900 damage, and we've got 700 assist, almost 800 assist. Like I said, this thing's a bully. And so there's not a lot left that I feel like can hurt me. You know, the T-34-1 can hurt me, and the ISU can hurt me. The Churchill and the Cromwell, I'm not worried about. The Arties, of course, it doesn't matter where you are or what you are, they're able to hurt you. So a bunch of their stuff gets spotted, and I just don't want to lose the game. It is still fairly close, so we line up a shot on the last known position of the Artie, and of course I believe that that hit. It sure looks like it did, huh? And how a French Artie bounces a shot from me, I don't know. So once again, Artie is taking an interest, but whatever. And I ignore the SU-152 because I do want to kill the Artie. And at this point, this is a dangerous poke. If he wasn't stunned there, there's no way I would have made that poke. But he is, and he fires, and I believe that I have enough time to hit him again. However, there's a tank, a Lorraine, behind me, and I don't want to get shot by the Lorraine. So it's just a little frustrating because, and our tracks do eat the shot, but it's a little frustrating to get focused so hard by Artie. But it is what it is, right? So we pick up the kill. We're up to 6 kills now. We ended up with 2,500 damage. But more importantly, because we were over there on the front line, we were spotting all of the damage for all of our team and all of the enemies. So we're not going to get a shot on this Cromwell. I'll speed it up. And of course, someone calls everybody idiots when we win 15-8. Typical World of Tanks. Anyway, let's go have a look at the post-game stats, and we'll wrap this one up. Okay, here we are at the post-game stats. Ace Tanker got a high caliber and a top gun. I think that's probably what pushed us over the edge. It's very hard to ace this thing, actually, because if you get in the right situation, it's really easy to farm damage. We only did 2,700 damage, but if you look, we were over 500, almost 600 above the next guy in experience. So 21 shots fired, 18 hits, 15 pens. It doesn't have fantastic pen, but it's okay. We gave up some health earlier. We could have been more aggressive. But the big number is 2,300 assist. So that combination, you know, that's 6,000 combined, right? No, 5,000 combined. I'm sorry. Math is hard. We ended up picking up 72,000 credits with premium account because Combat has a premium account, and 2,400 XP, which is a great result. So it is a solid tank, but what you're not seeing is the other 9 out of 10 games that you're matched up against tier 10s with 192 pen or whatever this has, and then also the fact that you've got 240 alpha and you're fighting tanks that have 400 and more alpha, and your armor doesn't count for anything. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest picking this tank up, but it is a good solid tank, especially if you're in a tier 8 game. Glad that you could watch the video. Hope that you watch more videos. You can subscribe for more videos. Please hit the like button if you did enjoy the video, and the dislike button is right over there. We'll catch you next time.